Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going back to the EF, finishing up doing the trans install. So I've just got to button up a few things on the bottom. So last night, like I said, I got the transmission bolted onto the engine, and I've got it mounted up here on the actual engine mount. So now I just drained the old fluid out of it, made sure it was gonna have good fresh fluid in it. So now I've just got to put like the front subframe here back in, put the exhaust back on, put all my steering forks or the shock forks back on, and all this little stuff, and then be able to set it back on the ground. Hopefully be able to do some more stuff maybe on the top, or we'll be able to roll it out so that we can get the like this automatic shifter cable out where it goes up into the engine or into the cabin. So I've already got all the stuff unbolted here, so just have to get it out from the inside. And also I have to take the dash out to put in the pedals, and we can get our clutch cable put in. But all that has to be done once we get it off the rack, because you can't open the doors wide enough to get the dash out. So I guess without further ado, we're going to get started on this. I'm just going to put it back on the time lapse and get a little time lapse video while I'm finishing up the bottom side.
I ain't running here to stay, steady gunning, do my thing. I don't look the other way, I stare that motherfucker straight. Don't care what they say, nah, everyone's the same. Don't get caught up in their games, just pick a lane and do your thing. I don't just wanna be great, I'll be the best. Make everybody forget all the rest. Man, I feel blessed, bulletproof vest over my chest for that haters' request. I'll be okay, I pick my lane, I'ma stick to it like horse of the fame. This is the game that we all play, and I'm gonna win, get the fuck out my way. Change myself, I've always stayed the same, no doubt. I've always played the game all out, and I am here to stay right.
Alright, so I went ahead and adjusted the front suspension where it would be up some more. So I guess technically this bottom portion here would come down, which in return make the suspension taller. So I already raised the rear yesterday, so I just did the front. I did the rear 8 turns, did the front 6 turns. Went ahead and got all this stuff reinstalled. Got the cotter pins in here, got the brake lines bolted onto the bracket. Got the axles in. That exhaust is back on. The dust shield back over the flywheel. I got the front subframe back in. All this stuff is back in. So pretty much everything up here is done. Everything on the bottom side is done, with the exception of the shift linkage. But I've got to get all this stuff out from the inside first. And but yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Gotta put the wheels back on and we'll roll it out of the shop. Alright, so I got the car back on the ground, and now we're to the interior. So we got to get this auto shifter out of here. We got to be making some changes to this wiring, so don't mess it up if you can help it. Just unplug it. So we'll need some of these wires to make cruise control work, make it start, and the reverse signal and stuff like that. So but now we got to get this part out of here. Let's see what all we got to do to get it out. Pull this pin out. That locks the cable onto it. Now the cable should be able to come out. But now we've got to get down and get all this auto shifter out of here. Feels like there's probably some nuts up in here that have to come out, and in order to get this tray out of here, let's see what we can do. Well, upon further inspection, I already unbolted all of the shifter from the bottom, so I just pulled up on it and came out. I was just missing the one connector here. It was like connected right here. But once I can disconnect that one, it all came out. So now I do got to there's a couple 10mm nuts right up in here that hold this little piece for the shifter in, or the auto shift cable. And we get a 10 ratchet wrench and take those out. It's just one nut like basically right there and one like right there under the carpet. I just don't want to mess up this carpet. Alright, so I got those 2 nuts off here, and then you see the shift cable bracket came out and it's under the car now. Woo-hoo. So I gotta go to Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere this evening and I'm gonna get some metal that I can make a template and put on the bottom side of this, and then use some Honda Bond or something to seal it off. And then I'll probably just cut a new hole for the shifter where it goes, just so that nice clean install. Alright, so now I'm going to work on removing the dash. So I've already got the cluster out because I have to change the cluster anyway. We're going to put a manual cluster in here. And I just took off this side defrost so I can get to this 10mm. The 10mm right up here under this cover. And I got to take off the little side defrost on that side over there to get to that 10mm. And I've got to get this radio console out, flip compartment out. Yeah. And then once I get those little things out, then I should be able to get this dash out. I got to drop the steering column down too, but it's just a couple bolts for that. And then plug the harness, and then I'll be able to get to where I can swap out these pedals. Swapping out the pedals on these is a little different than the EGDC. EGDC, you definitely don't have to remove the dash. Normally I just take the column down and then do my swap on the pedals. But with this one, it's a little tighter confines beneath the dash of the EF Civics, so it's just easier to pull the dash off and make those changes with the dash out of the way. So that's what we're working on now, and it's looking good. You know, it's slow, but we're making it. All right, so quick update. I got the outer portion of the radio cover off. I got the glove compartment out, and now I've got to like take this tin out down here. Should be like another tin over here. Holds the dash. Yeah, it's that tin. And then I've got to disconnect the climate control and the radio too, and get those out of here. Take these couple tins out. Holds this piece down here. Yep, I'm making our way there. All right, so I got the dash out. I truly do hope that it was worth the hassle of taking the dash out. So anyways, I'm probably going to disconnect this fuse box just to give me more room to work here, and that way I can get in here a little bit better and get this pedal swapped out. Alrighty, so I just got the pedal assembly out of here. That was quite the task indeed, and I am definitely glad I removed the dash, because it was just so much simpler to take all these air ducts and stuff out to be able to get the top bolt out of the brake pedal assembly, which is like right here. And then this is the clutch cable hole right here, and it has this little plug in it, and it comes in from the engine bay, but the way it sticks through, you can just take your finger and push it, and it pushes it right out. So now I guess we can get started on reinstalling the new pedal assembly that includes the clutch pedal. But that was definitely a task, and I don't think that putting the new one in is going to be any less of a task, but nonetheless, we're going to get it done. Alright, just a quick update. I do have most of the dash reinstalled. Still working on wiring up my ground to make it think it's in park, so the key remove's easy. Got these 2 wires run up to the reverse sensor on the transmission, so that the reverse lights come in. Well, they turn on when you put the car in reverse. It does start with the clutch pedal. Got the clutch pedal or the clutch cable installed now, so all that's like it's supposed to be. Still got a few things to hook up, like this fresh air vent and stuff. I gotta hook that up. Gotta hook a few of the cables up to go to the climate control, put the radio back in. The cluster got to change, you know, all this little stuff, but it's coming together for the most part. Still got to put the shifter in. I went to Home Depot and bought some thin aluminum, and I'm going to use that to make it a plate and put it in from the bottom side with some Honda bond, and then put some pop rivets in it to hold it where to cover this and be sealed off from the elements. So it's coming together. It's just a lot slower than I really wanted, but yeah, we'll make it through. All right, so I got the ground set up to where it thinks it's in park, so I can remove the key. So you can see, key turns on, key turns off, comes out, and then also, so you can see how it don't start because I'm not pushing the clutch. Push the clutch, starts right up. So. Looking good as far as that goes. So you can see we got power to the clock, power to the AC controls. So everything's looking good so far. But yeah, I'll get back to this later. I gotta go take some kids to some appointments. So yep, that's where I'm stopping in for now. Right. Sure, yep. So I've got the dash back in. I've still got the seat out because I gotta put the emergency brake cables in. The only way to get this little center console out here is by taking the seat out because of the way it's designed. So last night I did a little work, and I got, well, between last night and this morning, I've got the dash reinstalled. Bada bing, bada bam. Got the shifter in, and I made some aluminum plates down here just to cover up the factory holes. Install from the bottom, and they have Honda bond. I cleaned the bottom of the car really good, and they have Honda bond seal around each of the holes. And I used the factory bolt holes from the auto shifter to bolt that plate to it. I put some rev nuts in here for the manual shifter. Got it installed, and get the shifter in. So everything works. Sir. You can see now with I got it in gear. It moves under its own power. So that's pretty awesome. The reverse lights work as they should. We've got all that wired in here, and I got the single wire run to ground up here under the dash, so that the key can come out. So no check engine light. I've also changed out the ECU last night. I put the manual ECU in it. So, functions as a regular 5-speed car now. So it should also, I haven't tested it yet, but in theory, by the wiring, as soon as I drive it down the road, put it in cruise control and push the clutch, it should disengage the cruise control also. So I'll test that, you know, once I get ready to finalize everything pretty much. But for the most part, it's done in here. Obviously, like I said, I don't have the emergency brake cables at this point, so I just have to leave it in gear when it's apart. But yeah, the dash is reinstalled now, so we just gotta wait, like I said, on installing the center console, and then this job's pretty much done. I want to loosen the bolt that goes through the shifter. The shifter's a little bit tight front to back. Side to side is fine, but front to back it's a little tight. I just installed the shifter and didn't mess with it, so I think the bolt, like where the two linkages bolt together at the bottom of this, I think that bolt's a little bit too tight, and it's causing it to be harder to go forward and back. That's really my only complaint with the shifter. And then there was also something else I wanted to do. I don't really recall what it was right off the top of my head. Oh, I'll probably just do that whenever I put it up on the lift again to do the e-brake cables. I was actually able to order those today. I have been trying to get some DA cables because that's what everything I see it says use DA cables because they fit the best. But everywhere I find, they are they're out of stock and with no outlook on having some in stock. So I had some DC cables here that were used that aren't in the best condition, but I laid them up next to the factory drum e-brake cables, and they're about the same length. The integral ones were just a smidge longer. So I went ahead and ordered some DC cables, and hopefully that's going to get this thing squared away. Do have to still take it to get alignment, but otherwise, for the most part, this job is done. So let's go check it out under the hood. Show you guys all about this car. So, you've seen it before. I lowered it. I actually raised it back up a little bit. I did 6 turns on the front and 8 turns on the rear just to get a little more clearance, because before it was scrubbing here. Now I can actually get my finger in here on the front. Put my hand in there, right there. But if we look under the hood, see it? It's just like factory, baby. Huge, yeah. And this thing is just immaculate. I mean, it really is. As you can see there, we got our clutch cable coming through, goes through the factory bracket, right over onto the trans. So, looks like we're about to get some weather. Not bueno. No bueno. I had some other stuff I want to do today. I may start putting the motor in the Plum 7th gen over there. So, I already have a video for that, so I'm not going to video it. I guess I will. A bunch of this stuff. Auto shifter, auto pedals, auto ECU, auto cluster, heat shield I gotta put back in whenever I do the emergency brake cables. I guess I'm gonna get started doing something else in the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the windows up on this just in case it rains. But anyways, this is gonna wrap it up for this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, checking out the channel. Channel's grown way more than I ever expected it to, and it's all because of you guys, so I appreciate it. Do me a favor, like the video, comment, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and share the video. That's how more people find the channel and helps me out. Helps to where I can get better equipment to make these videos that much better, because I don't really want to come out of pocket, so I'm using my YouTube money to reinvest in the channel. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Peace.